Kitco Mining's special coverage of the Deutsche Goldmesse is brought to you by Dynacor.
Gold M&A is heating up, even in the far north. This is Paul Harris of Kitco Mining at the Deutsche Goldmesse conference in Frankfurt, Germany. And joining me today is John McConnell, President and CEO of Victoria Gold. John, welcome back to Kitco.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Now, John, we are 18 weeks into 2024, and what a week it has been so far. The gold price has remained firmly above $2,000 per ounce. Gold producers are now beginning to show margin expansion and juicy cash flow, and M&A has really picked up. Why is everything suddenly so positive?
I think it's the gold price. I was at this conference last November, and one of the investors I spoke to, he said gold would be $2,300 by the end of the first quarter of 2024. And I said, well, that would be nice. I didn't believe it personally, but here we are. And as you say, it's holding firmly there. So, we're in a new era, it looks like, and companies, like you say, are making money. So, M&A seems to have started, and it's not just the little guys. It's, from the BHP and Anglo side right down to, I saw one yesterday, Treasury Metals, so the micro juniors as well.
Well, I want to talk about M&A, John, but before we do, let's talk about Victoria. And, you're a single asset producer. You recently started production. As the gold price goes higher, what does that potentially mean for the cash generation, the balance sheet, things like that for Victoria?
Yeah, like all producers, we generate more free cash flow. It's no secret our all-in sustaining costs for 2023 were around, I think, $1,470 per ounce. We've guided $1,450 to $1,650 for 2024. So, even if you say $1,550, and today we've got a gold price of $2,300, that's, a sizable margin we're making on every ounce of gold we produce. And, it allows us to do a lot of things. It allows us to, spend money on capital items we had deferred, and gives us the opportunity to look at other acquisitions as well.
Okay, so you mentioned your all-in sustaining cost guidance, but in addition to that, your production guidance is 165 to 185,000 ounces of gold this year. So both of those things combined, how does that change or adjust your outlook? You mentioned that you can perhaps invest in some things that had been postponed. What else is changing in how you're viewing the world?
I would say immediately nothing is changing. There are, we can be a little freer with capital expenditures, as we mentioned. But, we need to see this price sustained for a while, and our focus is still 100% on getting the Eagle mine running properly. COVID was tough, and I have to quit blaming COVID for problems at the mine, but, right around the world, we're still seeing supply chain issues, and, they're slowly getting corrected, and, costs have gone up, so we're trying to do things to contain costs, but, right now, our focus is the mine and getting it running properly.
One of the issues you had was the stacking of the Heap leach pads, and you needed to sort of buy some more equipment or change out some equipment for that. How has that gone? Were you on track to sort of normalize production?
We didn't really need to change out any equipment. It's really just been fine-tuning and getting the equipment we have running properly, doing the proper maintenance, getting it running, getting our people better trained, so they're more productive, hiring higher quality people. So those have been the changes, but there hasn't been any major changes of equipment.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that M&A is something you're increasingly looking at with the ability to increase your cash flow because of the higher gold prices. Does that change how you're looking at M&A? Does that perhaps make a possible transaction closer?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, we made an acquisition last fall. We bought Brewery Creek, which is a development asset, and we're doing some engineering there. We'll do some geotechnical drilling this summer on a new leach pad, and we would hope to get that permitted over the next 2 to 3 years and put it into production. We estimate the capital cost of putting Brewery Creek into production is probably in the order of 100 to 125 million. And what these better gold prices do is we can probably fund that out of free cash flow. So, we'd like to get a nice nest egg of cash built up so that we don't have to borrow money from the banks. And then the other thing, for us is, I said, getting the mine running properly. We'd love to pay down all the debt. So we have a focus on debt repayment as well this year. And, at these prices, we'll be debt-free sometime in 2025.
And that'll be a very good day as and when that happens. Now, continuing on the M&A thing, you mentioned some of the deals that have been happening recently. Which deals have you liked, and which have you perhaps been surprised at?
I didn't quite understand the Treasury Metals ones, and I forget the company because it was assets in Ontario and I think
Goliath, wasn't it?
Yeah, in northern BC. So I didn't see the synergies there, except they seem to be playing on the Frank Justra name. I saw Contango bought High Gold. That one makes good sense. They're both in Alaska, certainly Rick knows how to permit in Alaska. So I think that, there's a great opportunity there. But, and then I can't think of some of the other ones. I guess, BHP making a bid for Anglo. That's hard to even comprehend for a junior miner like me. So,
I think that one's going to get very excited. Reuters put out a report this morning that maybe Glencore is interested in entering the fray there, so that could be a real ding-dong. I was chatting with Rick Van Nieuwhuizen, who's the CEO of Contango Ore. He's very excited about that transaction. He thinks it's going to be really, really big and important for the company. It's really good to see that sort of energy coming into the sector.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think we need that. It generates headlines, and hopefully people look at it as a positive thing in the mining space.
It seems in that context, John, that the 8 or 10 years of the bear market everyone has been through is potentially rapidly going into the rearview mirror.
I hope so.
Okay, John, where do you want Victoria Gold to be by the end of the year?
Yeah, again, it's not a lot of change. I think, not that we're not open to change, but we've got a lot of things we can do to generate shareholder value. The key one is getting the mine running properly and producing that 185,000 ounces of gold you talked about or more, and containing costs. Fuel prices are back up again, so we're being far more careful with every dime we spend right now.
Well, John, I wish you the best of luck with that. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And this is Paul Harris, and this is Kitco Mining.
Kitco Mining's special coverage of the Deutsche Goldmesse is brought to you by Dynacor.